Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call for the acceptance of the minutes of the January 10th, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Public forum for this evening. Nobody for public forum for this evening. We have two presentations. One that we have Holly Budd, Allison Robinson, and the cast of Frozen Jr. going to sing some songs for their musical, and that's really anticipated and exciting. And we thank all of you for all of your hard work and dedication and volunteering to make this production a success. Just before we go on, I want to point out one young man that's standing there, Easton Avery, who runs a concession stand down at the ball field. He raises money, and you think like any other kid he'd want to go out and buy the latest technology things, but he doesn't. He's twice donated money to the Ellenville Police Department for kids that are in need for Toys for Tots in the amount of $700 total. That's quite a feat, and he also donates and takes care of others in need. So I'd like to point out Mr. Easton Avery. Easton? His parents sitting in the audience along with his sister. We will call up Holly Budd and Allison Robinson and the cast of Frozen.
It's Coronation Day. It'll be actual, real life people. It'll be totally changed. Well, am I so ready for the first time in forever? For the first time in forever, I'll be there. Don't know if I'm a lady or Cassie, but I'm somewhere in the dark. And for the first time in forever, I won't be alone. I can't wait to meet everyone. What if I meet the one? Tonight I'm magic down and all, eventually draped against the wall. The picture of sophisticated grace. Suddenly standing there, a beautiful stranger, tall and rare. I want to have some chocolate in my face. And we'll laugh and talk all evening, which is totally bizarre.
So thank you very much. That was wonderful. It's something that we haven't had in a while. February 3rd and 4th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets. They'll probably be selling out quick. We can't wait to see you guys at Frozen Junior.
Of course, Jack has a question.
Mr. Jack Henry.
No, I just want to say to all the cast for the performance, I just want to say I will be showing up. I'm really looking forward to this performance. I've been having it in a couple of these reports, believe it or not. But I'm really looking forward to watching you guys perform. I'm really looking forward to it. You guys are going to be outstanding out there. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Jack Henry.
He spoke for us all.
Thank you, guys. Wonderful.
Do you know what take it is?
No idea.
You should look it up then.
When do we get
John, do you know what Higa is?
When do we get to sing now?
We can sing. I don't think we'll do as good as them, but we could definitely sing. All right, for our next singing duo, is that true? Are you guys going to sing for us or no? All right, we're going to bring up Susie Sofranco, Executive Director of Stockade Works, Amy Poe, Educational Development Youth Access Advisor, Stockade Works Program. I guess we're not going to get the singing show. Well,
Maybe they could push that. Then.
we got somebody coming up for you.
Oh, wait. How about, there we go. Yeah, I think it's on.
Yep, it's on.
Okay.
You're on.
I'll speak closely. I'm also at least too tall for these things.
You want to push it closer?
Thank you so much for having us this evening. I'm Susie Sofranco. I'm the Executive Director of Stockade Works, and this is my colleague, Amy Pooks.
Hi, thanks for having us. We're here just to talk about the SWAY program and to give you a little introduction to what Stockade Works history is and what our mission is and what our work has been over the past number of years.
And I'm just going to put on a video to start, which will explain it a lot better than I could.
Producers who are coming to the Hudson Valley want to know one thing: where's the crew? Stockade Works has been prioritizing training local workers so that productions can come to town and hire locally.
We are very fortunate to work with these amazing instructors who have been out in the field, and we get to gain experience from them, not just any kind, but we get to have hands-on experience.
My face is brighter on this side than this side. They'll do it so they can get it accurate.
When you look at the end credits on a film, you notice all these weird names like Gaffer, Electric, Grip, Best Boy. Those are actually just different fancy names for electrician or general contractor.
If you're coming off of a 1400 amp plant, is around 300 to 400 amps.
Stockade Works finds those people with those kinds of transferable skills and trains them into those specific skill sets that are good for film and television production.
It's been a learning experience all weekend. I'm kind of overwhelmed because I had no idea how much really goes into it.
It allows you to gain a more in-depth knowledge of how these things work so that you can go and implement that in the field, hopefully.
There's a lot of information to take in. My mind is kind of blown.
Stockade Works trains local workers and then helps them build a bridge from that trainee position to a union position with real benefits and long-term careers.
I'm going to be 50 and I have my master's in media management from the new school, but nothing beats experience. I feel like this is my foot in the door as a PA, so I don't mind, learning from scratch because that's what I'm going to be doing.
Stockade Works partners with productions shooting in the Hudson Valley for trainings and job referrals. One recent example is HBO's I Know This Much Is True. In 2019, we partnered with that production on a crew boot camp. 24 participants were 50% women and people of color, and we also trained a local veteran. This boot camp resulted in 12 graduates working on the production, with many going on to work on subsequent productions, not just with HBO, but with other networks shooting in the region.
But knock on wood, even for a feature, you want everything found up front.
I would like to be a PA in smaller films so I could kind of put my foot in every department and then see where I fit, what I like the most. But hopefully to get a union job and be gainfully employed in the film industry, because it's a dream of mine.
I'm very happy to be on the advisory board of Stockade Works because Stockade Works provides opportunities for people in the Hudson Valley. As somebody who looks like me in the arts, it means a lot to me to see people who also look like me helping out, serving, supporting, and being part of this community.
We're looking at our trainings as open to all people who want to work and have a good work ethic. There is a place for you.
Okay, now I have to follow Mary Stuart Masterson after this beautiful musical performance, but I'll be very brief. I'm going to give a little bit of background about our organization and then hand it over to Amy, who's going to talk about the program that we'd love to partner with Ellenville Central School District with. So we were founded in 2016 by Mary Stuart Masterson and Beth Davenport. Our mission is to further the potential of film, television, media, and tech in the Hudson Valley. And we do so with a priority on access and inclusion to create pathways to jobs in the industry for local people here in our region.
Producers who...
And so the real background to why we even exist as an organization, the Hudson Valley, our beautiful home, is not new to film production coming up here. We have amazing locations that have always been desirable to productions. There's a lot of local talent that live here, actors, directors, and producers. And there is an existing really strong crew base of people that live in the region that work in the industry, often having to go to New York City, but that's really changed in the last few years. And the big game changer for the Hudson Valley has been in 2016, legislation was passed on the state level to bring an additional tax incentive to productions that want to shoot upstate. So above Westchester and Rockland counties, there's an additional 10 to 15% for production. So for all of you who live here and have probably noticed it's changed a little bit, the landscape, that is really the driving factor. And so what we've seen over the past I guess it's 2023 now, so 5 years and change, is really a lot of economic spending by these productions, a lot of productions coming. You can see with the exception of COVID, this is just the local regional spend that the Hudson Valley Film Commission reports out each year. And you can see that this is money spent on goods and services, hospitality, hotel beds, and then a huge portion of it is local wages. And so what has changed is productions, rather than coming here for a couple of scenes that they need in a rural area or coming here for a couple of episodes of a series, is that series are now coming here and basing their productions here. And there's been a regional investment in that. There are now facilities that productions can come and house their productions for the length of the entire production. And that looks like much longer term. They're staying here for longer term, and they're spending tens of millions of dollars locally. So we're seeing bigger shows like HBO Max's Pretty Little Liars, Gilded Age films up in the Capital Region, and other major films like A Quiet Place. And so our role in this as a workforce development training nonprofit is, as productions are coming here and bringing local crew, as productions are coming here and bringing content creation, they are looking for local crew, and so we're providing that need. And a lot of what their biggest need is are these entry-level positions that we just were looking at in the video. In addition to that, as I mentioned, there's other investments being made in the infrastructure. So we're seeing places like Upriver Studios in Saugerties, Umbra Stages in Newburgh, which are large-scale facilities housing these productions. So since our founding, we've been around for about 6 years. We've trained almost 250 adults in our programs. 65% of them are women. Just over 40% are people of color, statistics that we're very proud of considering our priority on access and inclusion. We provide scholarships to over 80% of these trainees, and we are constantly working with productions that are coming to the area, and we are making referrals of our graduates, and they're getting placed on jobs. So we do a whole range of different types of programs, and I'm just going to kind of go through them quickly. Our main program is our Crew Boot Camp, which is an annual program, and it's a 360-degree view of working on set. So trainees get to rotate through all the departments. The footage from the video you saw was from our Crew Boot Camp, and it culminates in a mock shoot where they're working with a real director and a real script. They're filming real scenes on an Alexia Mini, which is an industry, a very expensive camera. And they are capturing sound and every aspect of it. It's a real-world training experience, which is really critical for such a fast-paced industry where you really can't experience anything like it till you're boots on the ground on a film set. Other types of trainings we do are more specific to different areas. So hair and makeup for TV and film, which is great for people with cosmetology training. Set building, which is great for folks who are interested in carpentry. Editing, which is post-production. Grip and electric, which Mary Stewart talked about a bit, but it's lighting and electrician work. We have had camera intensives, graphic design. There's just so many roles that you don't even think about when you think about many, I would say, don't think about when you think of TV and film, which is often directors and actors and producers, but really what is making it work is the carpenters and the hundreds of other types of jobs. Beyond our trainings, we provide mentorship for basically a lifetime to our grads, and so that includes job placement services, networking opportunities, and we're really their community, and we're really focused on community building in regards to cultivating this industry here. And these are some of the partners that we work with in the industry, among many others. And then we're also working very much embedded in the industry or in the community, which is why we're here today, because we would love to partner with Ellenville Central Schools in this way. And then before I hand it over to Amy, really the last piece of what we do is kind of ancillary to our trainings, but very important, which is career awareness. We go into schools, we go partner with other nonprofits, and we just talk about careers and everything that I kind of just talked about to you in 5 minutes, but in a much more robust way, and talk about skill affinities and things like that. So out of that, it has our kind of interest in developing a youth-specific program has come to the surface, and we're really excited to be launching this in the next year. So Amy, I'll let you talk to that.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Stockade Works youth programming. So the SWAY programming begins in 9th grade. This is the program that we've designed just for Ellenville, but it's a general approach to doing hands-on education for students that might be interested in entering the workforce after high school. So we start in the 9th grade with the Career Awareness Program, which really just talks to students about what is the world of film, what is that industry, what's your specialized affinity that might match you to an actual job in film production. And then we go through, in the 10th through 12th grade, hands-on training in the 6 different areas on an actual film crew. So the departments are sound production, camera production, grip and electric, being a production assistant for generalized producing, costume and wardrobe, and then students do a career awareness deeper dive where they actually meet people in the industry up here. We'll go to sound stages, we'll hear from key people who work on film crews, and in the 12th graders then do the mock shoot where they apply all of those skills to exactly what Susie was talking about, our boot camp. And that will be a real shoot, it'll be a full day, they'll be working under key people who are in the industry and learning how do you set up and shoot an actual film production. They get career prep, which means how do you actually prepare to apply for jobs in the film production industry, which is very different than looking for a job on Indeed or LinkedIn or something. And then we support them with job placements and mentorship. So these are the different areas of production that we're going to be covering. And again, as Susie said, we'll be using industry grade equipment. So this kind of sets us apart from other training institutes where we're working with the actual equipment so that kids are really ready to enter the workforce. I mean, our point is that we're very serious about job readiness. This is not just a theory. This is something that we feel really strongly about. And I think my background working in BOCES, that's something that, I know how important it is for kids to be actually working with the actual equipment and meeting the actual people in the field to gain access to that field. This field is all about who do you know and getting referred. And so our job is to create that bridge for our kids. So they look at things like what's a production assistant, how do I get on a local film crew, how do I set up this technical equipment, and what's the best crew department for my own personality and abilities. This is just to show you the different departments that are on a film set. And this is part of what our presentation is during the career awareness presentation with kids. And these are the soft skills that apply to every single job that are recognized by state ed, which is, those are the set of standards that we're adhering to. This is just one of the pictures from one of our mock shoots. This one was focused on set design. And that's one of our key instructors who actually was trained at Stockade Works, who's now a camera key on actual film shoots. And so these are the kinds of qualities, knowledge, skills, and habits that we are looking to build in our students and that we feel are very much within reach by doing this kind of a comprehensive program. This is just one of the many film portals that students will use to create their own job profiles. So essentially we start with training and awareness, we build to job readiness, and then 12th graders will have the opportunity to actually work a mock shoot with professionals and be supported in their job applications and job profiles thereafter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you good, or you want to?
We're done.
No, you can
Any
keep going.
questions?
We're very interested, so you can keep going.
No, we'd love to take questions. You know, we kind of trimmed this down to be pretty concise, but there's plenty more that we could say if you'd like to hear more.
Absolutely. Any questions? Iris?
Yes, I'm curious to know how the workshops fit into the school day when participation takes place?
Yeah, so we would work with the media program and also with the after-school broadcast program. You know, in many schools you have clubs where kids are creating media. What we're bringing in is the other side of it, which is the workforce side. So we would be partnering with that teacher, bringing in film crew professionals to train kids on the 6 different areas of film crew departments.
So it's more of an after-school participation?
It's during the school day and after school. It's both. And so we would start during the school day. We would work with that classroom, and then we would work with the second group after school on the same days.
Any other questions? John?
Thank you, ladies. Here in our little community, sometimes we like to brag, and we've got an outstanding television and radio production group in there. As a matter of fact, one of our graduates, who kind of struggled through school a little bit, was an athlete, is out on the West Coast as a newscaster now. And I think that you would find a tremendous amount of young people here that could fit into your program. What are our investments in this, and what is our responsibilities that we have to fulfill?
So I'm gonna, they're looking at me.
You defer to Lisa? Okay.
Right, Vince. So there's a proposal that we'll include in your next board packet, and the cost of participating in this, first of all, is it's a BOCES program. It's not a BOCES program, but it's funded through BOCES, so it's aidable. The career awareness introduction presentations, if we did 3 of them, they're $500 a day. There's tech modules, there's non-tech modules, and then a boot camp. So whatever we choose to do, it's a menu that we have. And it's in board docs, the proposal. So we're planning on putting this forward as part of the budget, right? But maybe having the career awareness intro presentations done sooner. So their projection is for spring of 2023 for the career awareness presentations, and then in the fall of 23 and the spring of 24, rolling out more of these programs. So we'll have to include those costs in the budget. I just don't want to, I didn't want to get till March and April and saying, what is this program? So I figured we'd preface it with a presentation from them on exactly what this is. So, and I think this is in the packet, right?
Lisa Ramirez?
Hi. So I'm just curious, how much time are you spending with the students? Like, what's a module?
It's a full year
versus
program. So we're here 2 days a week throughout each semester, and we culminate with the mock shoot in the spring. So it's a 20-week institute. You know, this is, and that's not including the career awareness piece that we would do in the spring. And also just to mention that career awareness could be included in the package for the following year, so it doesn't have to come out of this year's budget if that doesn't work.
So it's like a class period twice a week, or?
It's two different classes twice a week. One being the in-school media program, and the other being the after-school broadcast program.
So you'll find the information in board docs under the presentation, yeah.
I just wasn't.
And so you should know that each of the modules, like sound or costuming or camera tech, those are each 6-session modules that roll out. So there are 6 of those that roll out throughout the year. And then additionally, we have the job readiness intensive for 12th graders and the mock shoot, which is a full day institute on a Saturday.
Iris?
How many students do you anticipate would be involved?
As many students as are in those classes. So we would be serving the whole class. And then we would also start in the 9th grade. You know, I'm guessing serving a much larger number of students with the career awareness primer program.
Any other questions from the board?
Is there any particular credit bearing to this, or just if they're in the media class? Is
I think it's a credit bearing from the media class. And we can look at it, but we haven't talked about an additional credit for this.
Have you made them aware that we're putting together a new studio workshop? I don't know if that would be any part of,
We haven't, I don't know that you know that, maybe from Mr. L, but we haven't talked about that and how that would fold into this.
And also, they do get a certificate of completion from Stockade Works, which is just a nice thing to have on their high school transcript, and will allow them entry into the Stockade Works roster, where they would be recommended for jobs on local film crew shoots.
Any other questions from the board this evening? Ladies, do you have anything else for us? No?
No, thank you.
No? Okay. We'd like to thank you very much for coming in. It sounds like a very exciting program, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you.
Yes, and we have packets for you that we handed out. If there are any other questions, please feel free to send them our way.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we'll move on to reports, information, and correspondence. I have nothing to report. Board membership? Board membership, John?
Yeah, I know it's only a couple of months after our Hall of Fame induction, but it's a year-round process, and I just want to remind everybody in the community, we're always looking for more nominations. We had a great ceremony this last time, and we want to continue that. So if anybody out there thinks, or anybody on the board, or anybody thinks that they know of an athlete or a coach or a community member that deserves recognition as a honorary member, the nominations are year-round, but we're going to start taking a look at those in early spring in order to plan the event. So we have a tremendous amount of athletes and coaches that are still very worthy of the Hall of Fame, and if anybody wants to nominate someone, they could just check with the athletic director's office and get a nomination in.
Yeah, those that are not aware of how to nominate, is there something online in the form that they could fill
I believe
out?
on the website there's a section about the Hall of Fame, but if anybody has a question, they could contact the athletic director's office and speak to his secretary. But it's basically you would provide as much background information as you can on the athlete or the coach or person that you're nominating for Hall of Fame, and then the committee reviews everything and selects the nominees out of that.
Thank you. And your Hall of Fame has inspired others to come up with other ideas, and just spinning off of that, we appointed a Hall of Fame committee for the arts. So Lisa, anything to report on that?
No.
Ah.
We'll be having our first meeting soon.
Good, thank you. Any other board members? Nope. Then we will turn our show over to our ever-trusting worldwide correspondent from Channel 4, Mr. Jack Henry.
All right, so we're going to begin with our events. The evening of chamber music concert featuring the senior high jazz band and the chamber singers took place last Wednesday in the elementary school, which was a huge success. Both ensembles performed outstanding, and also for anyone that did not catch it, it is on our YouTube channel for those who want to watch it on the replay. The junior high musical Frozen Junior will perform their show on Friday the 3rd and Saturday the 4th in the senior high auditorium, and the show starts at 7 o'clock both nights. Regents Week started today and will end on Friday for all students taking Regents or midterm exams. Going on to athletics now, the boys varsity basketball team has a game on Friday in Spackenkill, and the girls basketball team plays Spackenkill on Friday also on home court. And varsity wrestling has a match at 6 o'clock at Burke Catholic High School. Finally, for fundraisers, the senior high band is selling Kraus chocolate for Valentine's Day. All orders are due January 30th, and it's never too late to buy Blue Devils merchandise. Buy yours with the link Junior Senior High School Student Council Blue Devils gear, or by using the QR code.
Thank you, Jack, as always.
You're
Very
welcome.
informative. All right, we will move on to Superintendent Lisa Wiles.
So just a few things this evening. I just want to report out to the board that the Ulster County School Boards Association meeting this Thursday. It's been canceled, and I don't have a date that it's been rescheduled. So if you were anticipating going, please don't. There'll be nobody there. But we'll keep you updated if anything does, if the meeting does get rescheduled. I also want to report out that as of today, we've used 4 of our 9 snow days. So we do have 5 snow days left. And tomorrow we have very big risk of inclement weather. So we'll keep you updated on that. And I think we do update, we do an update on the website on the number of days.
Correct.
So you could always check that out. The last thing I want to report or tell the board is that we have been in communication with Joe Kroll from the LA group. If you remember, he was in the fall about the study for the athletic fields. And we would like to set up a meeting with the committee. And the people that make up the committee, superintendent, business official, athletic director, facilities director. We need some board representation, our construction manager, and then there's some other positions like ground and maintenance, principal, a couple of coaches. So we'll put that together. But I'd like to see.
We did appoint.
Did we did?
Yeah,
we
did.
did.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so we'll
Yeah.
go back and see if we can go back and check to see who that is. There's a meeting that we're going to be putting together in February. So,
And then that'll be presented to the full board.
yes. So the first step is the committee will meet. They'll talk about what the goal of the report is. Then Joel, sometime after that, will start with his observations.
Oh, they haven't started their.
No, they did some preliminary work in the fall, but in order to do the real work, they want to see it in the spring after the snow, what the conditions of the field are. He talked about that, I think, when he was here. And then we'll just roll into finalizing the report, and it will be presented to the board.
Good.
Yep, that's all I have to
Hey, well, Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Napoli.
Thank you. In my report, on the second page, there's a link to an article that talks about the board or local municipalities considering of volunteer firemen and ambulance workers, a reduction on their taxes. So the board can consider that, as well as, I don't know if anyone remembers, about a month or so ago, Governor Hochul passed something that allowed municipalities or boards to have a senior citizen exemption. We talked about that a little bit, and it could be tiered. I don't know of any school offhand in Ulster County that has fully implemented any of these yet, but their boards are looking at it. And I can provide all that information again in my next report if needed.
Iris?
So I'm not sure what you mean looking at it. What does looking at it mean?
They're talking about it. One of the things that I asked our tax collector to reach out to the local assessor is to see how many people are impacted by this, to see what the tax impact may or may not be on the other taxpayers. So those are the types of things that school boards are looking at.
So you're doing this research and then you'll bring that information to us?
That is correct.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
John?
Vince, with all of the unfunded mandates that the governor sends to us, perhaps the state would be interested in funding this to give relief to senior citizens and firemen and first responders? Maybe we could ask. I don't know.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Are you good, Vince?
I have one more thing.
Iris?
Vince, I noticed that we have to collect to recycle the food waste now.
Correct. Yeah, we talked about this.
Yes, we did talk about this. So I see, you're setting up the bins and doing all of that. But is there any consideration or conversation about reducing food waste by reducing the amount of food or something? Because it just seems, is it possible that kids can come back for seconds instead of giving them so much that it gets thrown out? Or, it's troubling to me that all this food is going to waste. At least it's being recycled, that's fine, but, it shouldn't.
We don't know yet how much food is actually being wasted because we haven't measured it, and that's at the post-consumer. Back in the kitchen, the food that gets discarded, whether you're peeling the lettuce or you're chopping the carrots, everything that gets discarded, serving over 1,000 meals a day is only about 20 pounds a day. So in the kitchen, the back of the house, we do a real good job not wasting food or discarding food that's not edible.
Right.
It's really hard, and that's one of the things that we want to try to tackle after we do the back of the house is to measure how much food gets discarded in the cafeteria by the students. We have shared tables. There are some foods that can be shared, so juices and milks that are unopened, fruits that are wrapped. So we have shared tables. We've been doing that now for a couple of years, and that's been very successful, but somebody might eat half their slice of pizza and discard the other half. They might not be hungry anymore. Who knows? There's lots of reasons why we as humans don't finish our meals or we discard something that we don't like. But I don't know how much that is yet. So that's one of the goals, is to be able to measure that. And we'll start in the junior high school where we've got 2 lunch periods a day, but I have to have somebody man that. So I've been reaching out to the student council to see if they can get us some volunteers, get community service hours that can direct the students, okay, that goes in that bin, that goes in that bin, and that goes in that bin. And at the end of the day, we can measure how much food waste there actually is. It might be a lot less than what the state or the government has measured historically across, wherever they do their studies. I think we're pretty good. I look in the garbage cans when I go down and eat lunch at the cafeteria or talk to our custodians. I don't see a lot of food, but there is food in the garbage cans.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll see.
John?
Lisa, Rondell Valley has a program, a farm program there. They have a director of a greenhouse. She's got some other certifications, and she's talking about, expanding that and doing classwork and all that kind of stuff. She's certified now. Would we ever be interested in doing something like that? I mean, you could say, well, Rondout's more farm than us, but I like the idea that our kids get these varied experiences, like the program we just saw, or some of the things that you've mentioned to me that are outside the box of what we normally do. And I'm wondering if that's something that we might look into that could help Vince with that could talk about environmental issues, recycling, and a greenhouse doesn't take a lot of money, and some of the classes that would be able to be offered in something like that would be pretty exciting. I would like to encourage us to look into a program like that for our kids.
We definitely can continue to look into that. I know that we've had some initiatives with the hospital on a farm to table, and I know that the initiative that we put forward from the grant that we're getting in Ulster County to revamp the junior high library, we are looking at putting in preliminarily, just to start, some growing hydroponic areas, but that is definitely something that we could look at as part of that initiative to expand. And we have been talking about a greenhouse and doing some planting, but we need to make sure we have someone that could follow up with it and do all that. So that's something we definitely will look at.
Iris?
So as it happens, I have on my desk, and I'll bring it into you this week, I believe it's Millbrook, but I'm not exactly sure. Through their elementary program, they have a gardening educator. And so they have a curriculum, and they have someone in the building working on this all the time with the kids. So I'll bring you all that information. You might want to get in touch with them and see what they're doing.
That's kind of what this lady does, yeah.
Is she full-time, John?
I don't believe she is, but she did mention she was looking for full-time work.
Maybe we can partner together.
That would be great, because that was one of the things that they talked about in rural schools with diminishing populations, finding school districts near you that have the same needs.
The resources, share the resources.
Partnering with them.
And then if you run it through BOCES as a program, you can get some, BOCES.
Well, I'll drop that off for you.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you. Move on to Deputy Superintendent Kelly White.
Good evening. I just want to make the community aware that we do have active postings out for a music teacher, so we are currently looking for a choral director for grades 7 and 8 with piano skills. We encourage anyone with those qualifications to apply, and also director of health, PE, and athletics is also currently posted. And I wanted to just give a shout out to Frank Mulhern, who he and 3 of our MBK fellows were awarded at the NAACP commemorative service for their commitment to the MBK initiative. So really proud of the work that he continues to do in our school and community, and I'm glad the town recognizes that as well.
Thank you. We will move on to personnel resolutions for this evening. Under substitute personnel, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of the schools, be it resolved, the following substitute personnel be appointed for the 22-23 school year.
Move the list is presented.
Second.
List has been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of the schools, be resolved the appointment of Amanda Wood, senior typist, be made permanent following successful probationary period effective February 2nd, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved, the appointment of Dante Langley, a cleaner, be made permanent following successful probationary period effective February 7th, 2023.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Stephen Pike be appointed as a security tenant at a rate of $18.04. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved the attached list of elementary school extended day programs be approved at the contractual rate for the 22-23 school
So
year.
moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and
moved.
it's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Whereas the Board of Education, the Ellenville Central School District is in receipt of funds from the New York State Government for the Healthcare and Mental Hygiene Worker Bonus Program. Be resolved that the board hereby directs the superintendent or her designee to distribute the funds to eligible employees in accordance with the program.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved, seconded, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Be resolved, superintendent of schools is authorized to approve up to 10 hours of professional development for K-6 teachers. Payment shall be made in accordance with the ETS RPA Teachers Collective Bargaining Unit and funded by federal funds.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. John?
Kelly, I know we get a lot of input on these from the teachers. Do we have records of how many fulfill that full 10 hours and how many don't and things like that? And
Yes, I track those hours with Justine.
are we finding a lot of them running the gamut on all of the hours or parts of?
It varies. In the last one that we had the technology professional development, I think we probably had maybe 20, I'd have to go back and check.
Okay.
But we keep close, we keep good records on those. And
So we approve the funds based on 10 hours for somebody. If they don't use the funds, then
yeah, then that funding will be left for like the
Okay.
summer professional development series.
Great.
It's
Thank
the
you.
same pool of funds.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? I will abstain because my wife is usually on the professional development for kindergarten. Under 7.1, resolve the attached list of student IEPs be acknowledged as appropriate. There are 9.
move the list is presented.
List has been moved, seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 7.2, somebody want to move that in its entirety?
What is that? Was that the school tax? So
Yeah.
moved.
It's been moved,
Second.
seconded. Discussion?
So just quickly review what this is, instead of reading it.
Lisa?
Yeah, that is, we are amending the contract of sale for the piece of property on the Nevele. They'll be releasing some funds to the district, and there's an additional amount that they'll be giving the district in consideration for extending the closing till next November.
Thank you.
John?
Lisa, we talked about this, and I thought there was going to be a clause in here that they had to come up with some money to keep that building standing. It's about one heavy wind away from falling down.
Right,
massive hole in the roof and the infrastructure looks like it's shot. Did we get anywhere with that?
We didn't with that clause, but we did get an additional $5,000 released towards the sale price to the district. So there was, if I remember correctly, $7,500 in escrow that was being held, plus another $5,000 that they're giving us and releasing the $12,500 to us.
I get that, but my concern is it's a historical building and it's going to be no bigger than ankle deep if it falls. So are we using any of that money to secure it? Or I thought that was the goal, that they were going to buy it, but they promised they would secure it.
They're going to buy it. They want to do the closing at the same time on that property as they close the other property. So they wanted to extend it till November. When we asked them to shore it up, they were reluctant to do the work now, but as part of the closing, they did commit that they are going to restore that area into like along a visiting path.
Is there a time frame on that?
The time frame, we were supposed to close this past November, but they didn't, and they asked us to extend it till next November.
That building won't be standing next November.
Right, but they're still going to purchase the property from us.
We've got plenty of pictures of it. Put it back up.
Elise, I can't hear you. Please, I can't.
I said, we have plenty of pictures of it. We can put it back up. We'll hold them to it. They said they were going to do it. If it falls, then we put it back up like it was. If it's a historical building, the pictures and the programs that are out there, they can't do anything different. As I understand historical buildings.
Thank you. Anybody else? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Mr. Burns. All right, 8.1, resolve the payment of construction management services for invoice number 20.
So moved.
Been moved. Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 8.2, resolve the change order number EC-01 in the amount of $6,500 for Harry F.
So moved.
Rotolo and Sons. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion?
I just have one thing, it's a little off, but Vincent, on your report, there was the timeline and all the information about so I'm wondering if that can be put in the library so that we can refer to it?
Great idea. I will
Okay.
take care of
And
that.
we'll do this going forward for each section of the project,
Yeah, so
right?
I think that's a great idea. So as I present you with documents that are relative to the schedule, not the payments or anything like that, but something that you can refer back to, then I will definitely put that in the library. Only in the library, and then,
Well, that works for
refer
me,
to it, or
but-
you want it in both?
Only in the library, or what's the other choice?
Like in my report.
I think it's up to you. I
Yeah.
just want to know that it carries over so I can refer to it at another
Sure.
time. So you let me know where you're keeping it.
You got it.
Thanks.
Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. On to other resolutions. Donation. Resolved that a donation from the Boston Foundation in the amount of $1,500 be accepted for
So
the
moved.
WELB
Second.
radio program. It's been moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 9.2, resolve the donation from Robert Zemanecki for an inflatable tunnel that comes with a fogger for the athletic department be accepted.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Jenna.
You know, we're talking about ways of building our athletic program, and something like this is something that would bring excitement. You can, my understanding is this an inflatable or something, you can move it from venue to venue, so during football season, the football team can come running out, playing music, the fog coming out, it's just a great atmosphere, basketball, wrestling, even into the spring sports, so thank you, Mr. Zemanecki, for your contribution here.
Let's echo that. Thank you, Mr. Zemanecki, and his family as well. Anybody else? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 9.3, resolve the contract.
So moved.
It's been moved.
What is it?
It is Health and Welfare Services contract for the Elmville Central School District. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Mark your calendars. The next meeting is February 7th. Anybody want to see anything on the agenda for February 7th? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been moved, seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? We're adjourned.